Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hoot. We are at Chapter 8, and Roy has just met Officer Delinko, the officer that's been discovering all the Mother Paula's pancake issues, including having his car spray painted. And Beatrice helped Roy get out of trouble when he was arriving home late by biting a hole in his back tire. Great teeth. Anyway, Chapter 8. Roy stuck to his promise. He quit searching for Beatrice's stepbrother, though it required all the willpower he could muster. One incentive to stay home was the weather. For 3 straight days it stormed. According to television news, a tropical wave had stalled over southern Florida. 8 to 12 inches of precipitation were expected. Even if the sun had been shining gloriously, Roy wasn't going anywhere. The guy at the gas station reported that the punctured bike tire was beyond repair. "You folks got a pet monkey?" he asked Roy's father, "because I swear it looks like there are teeth marks on the sidewall." Roy's parents didn't even ask Roy what happened. Having lived in Montana, they were accustomed to dealing with flats. A new tire had been ordered, but in the meantime, Roy's bike sat idle in the garage. He spent all of his soggy afternoons working on homework projects and reading a cowboy novel. When he looked out the bedroom window, all he saw were puddles. He missed the mountains more than ever. When Roy's mother picked him up after class on Thursday, she had some good news. "Your suspension from the school has been lifted." Roy wasn't exactly ready to turn cartwheels. "Why? What happened?" "I guess Miss Henpin reconsidered the situation." "How come? Did you call her or something?" "Actually, I've spoken to her a number of times," his mother acknowledged. "It was a fairness issue, honey. It isn't right that you got suspended when nothing happened to the boy who started the fight." "It wasn't a fight, Mom." "Regardless, it looks like Miss Henpin came around to our point of view. Starting tomorrow morning, you're back on the bus." "Yippee," thought Roy. "Thanks a bunch, Mom." He suspected she had another motive for pestering the vice principal. She was eager to resume her early morning yoga sessions at the community college, which she couldn't attend as long as she was driving Roy to Trace Middle. He didn't want to be selfish, though. He couldn't depend on his parents forever. Maybe the other kids on the bus wouldn't make too much of a deal out of his return. "What's the matter, honey? I thought you'd be glad to get back to your regular routine." "Yeah, I am, Mom." Tomorrow was as good a day as any, Roy thought. Might as well get it over with. Leroy Brannett, the bald man who called himself Curly, was under too much pressure. His eyelids twitched from lack of sleep, and all day long he perspired like an Arkansas hog. Supervising a construction job was a large responsibility, and every morning brought new obstacles and new headaches. Thanks to the mystery intruders, the Pancake House project was already 2 weeks behind schedule. The delays cost money, and big shots at the Mother Paula's corporation weren't happy. Curly expected to be fired if anything else went wrong. He had been told as much by a top-level executive of Mother Paula's. The man's job title was Vice President for Corporate Relations, and his name was Chuck Muckle, which Curly thought was more suitable for a circus clown. Chuck Muckle wasn't a very jolly fellow, especially after seeing the newspaper article about the police car being spray painted on Mother Paula's property. Among Chuck Muckle's responsibilities was to keep Mother Paula's valuable brand name out of the media, unless the company was opening a new franchise or introducing a new menu order, such as these sensational key lime flapjacks. In all of his years of supervising construction, Curly never had gotten a phone call like the one he received from Chuck Muckle after the newspaper story appeared. He had never been chewed out for 15 minutes nonstop by a company vice president. "Hey, it ain't my fault," Curly had finally interjected. "I ain't the one who fell asleep on the job. It was the cop." Chuck Muckle instructed him to quit whining and take it like a man. "You're the foreman, aren't you, Mr. Brannett?" "Yeah, but, well, you're going to be an unemployed foreman if anything like this happens again. Mother Paula's is a publicly traded company with a global reputation to protect. This is not the sort of attention that's beneficial to our image. Do you understand?" "I do," Curly had said, though he hadn't. Serious pancake eaters would not care what happened to a police car, or even gators in portable potties. By the time the restaurant opened, all that weird stuff would have been forgotten. However, Chuck Muckle had been in no mood for a reasonable discussion. "Listen closely, Mr. Brannett. This nonsense is going to stop. As soon as we hang up, you're going to go and rent the biggest, most bloodthirsty attack dogs you can find. Rottweilers are the best, but Dobermans will do." "Yes, sir." "Is the site even cleared yet?" "It's raining," Curly had said. "It's supposed to keep on raining all week." He figured Chuck Muckle would find a way to blame him for the weather, too. "Unbelievable," the vice president grumbled. "No more delays, you hear me? No more." The plan was to get the site cleared before bringing in the VIPs and the media for the official gala groundbreaking ceremony. The highlight was going to be a special appearance by the woman who portrayed Mother Paula in the advertisements and TV spots. Her name was Kimberly Lou Dixon, a runner-up in the Miss America contest in either 1987 or 1988. Afterwards, she became an actress, although Curly couldn't recall seeing her anywhere except for in Pancake House commercials. They dressed her up in a calico apron, a gray wig, and granny glasses to make her look like an old lady. "Let me explain why you will be out of a job if this project gets stalled again," Chuck Muckle said to Curly. "Miss Dixon's window of availability is extremely limited. She's due to start filming a major motion picture in a couple of weeks." "No kidding. What's it called?" Curly and his wife were avid movie fans. "Mutant Invaders from Jupiter 7, said Chuck Muckle. "The problem is, Mr. Brannett, if the groundbreaking gets postponed, Miss Kimberly Lou Dixon won't be able to attend. She will be on her way to Las Cruces, New Mexico, preparing for her role as Queen of the Mutant Grasshoppers." "Wow," thought Curly, "she's playing the Queen. Without Miss Dixon's presence, we will no longer have a blockbuster event publicity-wise. She's the company's icon, Mr. Brannett. She's our Aunt Jemima, our Betty Crockett, our Tony the Tiger," said Curly. "I'm glad you understand what's at stake here." "I sure do, Mr. Muckle." "Excellent. If everything goes smoothly, you and I will never need to speak to each other again. And won't that be nice?" "Yes, sir," Curly agreed. The first order of business was erecting a chain-link fence around the construction site. Finding somebody to work in the rain wasn't easy, but Curly eventually hooked up with an outfit in Bonita Springs. Now the fence was finished, and it was only a matter of waiting for the guard dog trainer to arrive. Curly was somewhat nervous. He wasn't really a dog person. In fact, he and his wife had never owned a pet, unless you counted the stray cat that occasionally slept under the back porch. The cat didn't even have a name, which was fine with Curly. He had enough to worry about with humans in his life. At 4:30, a red truck with camper top drove up to the trailer. Curly pulled a yellow poncho over his glistening head and stepped out into the endless dribble. The trainer was a beefy, mustached man who introduced himself as Kalo. He spoke with a foreign accent, the same accent German soldiers always had in World War II movies. Curly could hear the dogs barking ferociously in the camper bed, heaving themselves against the truck's tailgates. Kalo said, "You go home now, yeah?" Curly glanced at his wristwatch and nodded. "I lock up the fence. I come back early to get the dogs." "Fine by me," Curly said. "Something happens, you call right away. No touches the dogs," Kalo warned. "No talks to them. No feeds them. Important, yeah?" "Oh, yeah." Curly was more than happy to steer clear of those brutes. He packed up his pickup off the lot and got off to close the gate. Kalo waved amicably, then he turned the attack dogs loose. They were extremely large, all Rottweilers. They took off loping along the fence, crashing through the puddles. When they got to the gate, all four of them leaped upright against the fence, snarling, snapping at Curly on the other side. And we're going to stop there.